Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. This is Stacy, and joining me this evening will be Erica Switzerland O'Reilly, and hopefully Jackie Guma and Kat. I think we have actually Erica online now. And let's see, we have Erica, that's you, right?
Yep.
Okay. And who else do we have here? Jackie?
I don't know.
Okay. I know I have Erica and someone else just called in.
Jamie.
Oh, hi, Jamie. Okay.
Hi.
Okay, we just have people calling in one at a time. So, okay. So tonight's topic is comparing yourself to others. And Erica works with me every week with our Thursday night podcast. She's a 22-year-old woman who grew up on Long Island, and she's a prime example of a person who experienced difficulties in her youth. And she's not only empowered to enjoy life, but she's interested in spreading awareness and empowerment to others. My name is Stacy, and I'm a certified teacher and a CASAC-t, and I share the same passion with Erica on my journey to self-empowerment and awareness. I love to share it with as many people as I can on a daily basis. So every week during our podcast, we'll discuss good news stories, stories of hope, stories of success, and stories of empowerment. And we encourage everyone to call in and either just listen or participate, whatever you're comfortable with. We'll talk about proactive things that each of us can do easily to make every day better and to motivate and empower ourselves and each other. And the whole idea on this podcast is people helping people, and we know that collaboration equals success because we're all in this together. So Empower Half Hour is made possible by the Time to Play Foundation Incorporated, a not-for-profit 501c3 corporation with the mission and purpose to enrich the lives of others through our programs, public awareness, outreach activities, events, and learning opportunities that further the concept of enjoying life. So if you'd like to know more about the foundation, you can join us. You can tune into the website at theenjoylifeproject.org. And so getting back to our topic tonight, comparing ourselves to others. You know, the tendency to compare ourselves to others is as human as any other emotion. But there's a lot of shallow hells out there. So there's a lot of people that compare their self-worth by their net worth and dollar values. There's even a website, networthiq.com, where people will post their net worth. I know for me, I find I'd rather, figure out my net worth in terms of how much I'm worth to the world that I live in. So I'd love to hear, Erica, I know that we came up on these topics together. So
yes.
How would you like to?
I guess with comparing yourselves, the main focus that I would want to keep on this is, like, for example, with the net worth, how people use that. But also to figure out, to explain or to figure out our opinions on why people do it. Like, for my generation, a big thing is we go on Facebook, we compare others. This person's going there, that person's traveling here, this person looks like they have a wonderful life. That because of that, if I compare that to myself, it gets me very down because, honestly, it comes from looking at the outside. It's the outside looking in. So, really, I guess the focus that I want to keep on that is the ways we do compare ourselves to others, whether it be materialistic or travel-wise or even relationships, maybe jobs, careers, education, and figure out why we do that and, maybe our own opinions on how, I guess for me it would be since I feel like my life's very boring, my job, what I do, I get very upset with myself when I look at what other people do. So for me, it's my own self-esteem and my expectations on myself that I'm not meeting. That's why I would compare.
Exactly. In terms of, monitoring your own self-worth in comparison to someone else, that's one of the biggest mistakes that we do, and it's so unfair because we typically compare the worst we know of ourselves to the best that we presume about other people. And it robs us of time, because we're all unique. And there's no way to compare fairly because, we all have gifts and talents and successes, contributions, our values are unique to each one of us. So, they can never be properly compared. There's actually a quote that was written by Albert Einstein that I love, and it says, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life by believing that it's stupid." So it's just a comparison. And we have two other people.
That's one of my favorite things. I just want to point that out.
I just want to see who else is on with us. Do we have Jackie?
And Kat. Hello.
And Kat. Okay.
And Brooke.
Erica, continue. Go ahead, Emma.
Hello, Brooke. Hi, Brooke.
Oh.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, okay, great. So we have Brooke from Florida right now. We have Jackie and Jamie and Kat. Or do we have just Kat? Do we have Jamie yet? Do we have Jackie yet?
Yeah, it's Jackie and then Kat is with me. I think we're always together on Thursday at this time. Yeah.
Okay, you're on the same line.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, so Erica was going with a thought on a quote I just said about comparing from Albert Einstein. Go ahead, Erica.
So, with the quote that you're saying, one of the things I would like to bring up is we've all seen that picture where you have the elephant, the monkey, the fish, and a bunch of different animals, and it's about our education system, how having everybody do the one thing can make people feel insignificant. They were making all of these different types of species have to climb a tree to pass their exam. Now, in that sense, it's also using that comparing thing. The fish is comparing itself to the monkey, saying how, for example, it could be, I can't climb the tree, so I must be stupid. I must not be able to do these things because I can't climb a tree. Meanwhile, the monkey, for example, if we take away from just the tree in this photo, if you put a pond and it was see how fast you could swim, the monkey's going to feel bad because the fish can swim faster than the monkey. So, in a sense, as much as I firmly believe we are not all special, we are not better than another person, but we are unique. We have our special qualities. Like, I can't play a guitar for my life, but I know how to put a smile on someone's face. That's my quality.
The more we become intimately aware of our own successes and passions, we find the motivation to pursue them more. It gives us the capacity, we all have the capacity to love, to serve, to contribute, whether we're a writer, a musician, a doctor, even a landscaper, a mother or a student. The more we're in touch with what we're meant to do, the more we can pursue further motivation to do it. And that's what will make our own self-worth, successful.
Exactly. Another good way to look at it is, oh no, did I just lose that? I might have just lost it. Oh yeah. Another good thing too is if we stop comparing ourselves to other people as them being better than us or them being less than us or whichever way you look at somebody when you compare them to yourself, if you take that away, that negativity, that malice, the spitefulness, the jealousy, and go at it with an open mind, you meet so many amazing people. Like, I have friends now that cosplay. I have friends that go crazy for Halloween. I have friends that are nuts for Christmas. I have friends that are very into their education. I have friends, too, that are on the line that read tarot cards, drink tea, talk to plants, because of the fact that I kept an open mind, even with my own self-conscious issues or my own fault, instead of looking at it as their competition to not make me look that great, I look at it as this is a great learning experience. From being around people that talk to plants or read cards, I learned, that's something that's cool, but it's not for me. And it's actually funny because the last, maybe 2 weeks, I've been feeling a little off, and I was getting scared that I was being distanced from my friends because they all seem to be connected on these certain hobbies, and then that wasn't something that was really for me. So my own negativity, me comparing myself, I'm not good enough for my friends because I'm not into the same things. I don't really talk to plants, or I eat meat, or things like that. My friends aren't going to want me around anymore because I don't have the same qualities. But when I take a step back and think about it, we never had the same qualities to start off with. We just embraced each other's. Like, I brought something else into, like, something else. Like, before Jackie met me, she didn't really wear crop tops or something like that. And then all we do is we're crop top addicts now. And at the same time, she showed me different types of plants. So, like, we learn from each other. We feed off of each other versus comparing and knocking each other down.
I agree that everyone brings their own piece. I feel like everyone brings their own piece to a group, you know. I used to do that too. Like, I would compare myself to other people, and then I learned that I don't know, being unique is so much better. Then you have different things to bring to the table, you know. So I feel like Erica, you shouldn't be like that.
You know, we actually want you to come around.
Yeah,
we've been we're not here.
Exactly. We're always like, where is Erica? Like, right now, we're actually at 89 North. We're at a show, but, like, I'm taking pictures tonight and Kat's doing the door. But, you know, we had to make time for the podcast, so here we are.
Exactly.
You guys rock.
I will be seeing you guys on Saturday. That's probably, me and Mikey are going to go there. So.
Excellent. Okay.
Right.
So it's a great point.
Go on.
What?
Are you signing off, Jackie and Kat, or are you staying on?
Oh, no, we're still here. I was just stating where we were.
Oh, that's very cool. No, great. So it's awesome what everybody's talking about. I think it's like finding inspiration without comparison, you know, learning from others, you know, and, you know, if we work hard to learn the difference, it's so rewarding because I used to be the same way. And I know when we're open to what each other are interested, even Brooke, who's on the line, when we used to work together at a school, you know, in the faculty room, we would just start to talk about things, whether it was just spirituality or health and wellness and things like that, or our sons. And, you know, we were attracted to one another through that. And we take different paths, but I think that we today are connecting through just like our hearts wanting to help each other and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that, Brooke?
Yes, definitely. I'm very grateful right now.
And that's a good point too, because one of the best ways to overcome, you know, comparing ourselves to each other is, you know, gratitude. You know, just it always forces us to recognize the good things that we already have in the world, you know.
Right.
Someone shows you, like, if you meet a certain person in your life and they're supposed to be there, and they're like reflections of you. They show you sides of yourself that you do not face or that you ignore. And they amplify it in a way so that, you know, you can, like, face it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's a lot of comparing. That has also a lot to do with your self-esteem, too, by, you know, comparing yourself to another person. Sorry, I was like, all things on top, but it's something like that.
I mean, something we can all definitely relate on, especially with comparing, is we're all in relationships. Stacy, you're married. Me, I don't know about you, Brooke. I don't know what your relationship status is, but I'm sure you've experienced that whole comparing yourself to maybe another girl that's like a friend of a boyfriend's or something like that. Like, we've all even done that where, like, we can't, like, sometimes we just can't comprehend how we're this special and we're this unique to a specific person, that we've all done it. We've all sat there and compared ourselves to another girl, whether it was her ex or whether it was a friend or just a random girl that decided to pop up out of nowhere in the middle of a friends group or workforce or something like that. Like, we've all been there where even that we compare that. We compare those people and don't understand how we can be so unique.
You know, I totally get you on the thing of, like, when you're in a relationship and their ex starts, you know, showing themselves and causing trouble, a lot of trouble. But not even, like, outside, but within yourself, you know, because you could have, like, a lot of insecurities, and then you're comparing yourself to this person because they were with the person that you're with now, and it's like, oh, what if we can't have what they had because it's not, like, what if I'm not enough? You know, like,
right.
That, like, with my current relationship right now, because, like, I guess I'll tell you a little story, but, like, his ex of 8 years, they were together for 8 years, right, and she never, like, really showed herself when he was single, but, like, now that when he's in a relationship, she, like, kind of really, like, forcefully tried to get him back, in different ways, I guess. But now, since when we got together, she started doing it a lot more, and I began to compare myself or doubt myself because she started feeling she thought she could have power over me, and she did for a while because I was so upset. I was feeding off of what she felt inside of herself. She was, I figured it out later, she was a very bad person because she did not have Pete back, and she felt alone, and she thought that she couldn't do anything on her own, and she saw that her partner for 8 years was suddenly not with her and with someone else, and he was happy, and it's so she began to try to attack me, and it's
exactly.
So it clashes with each other because we all have our own insecurities, and it's all about communication as well. We don't know how to talk about what we feel inside, so it's hard to get over, or I'm sorry if I'm speaking in circles or whatever. Yeah.
Well, you know what, Kat? When I was your age, I don't know that I could have said that situation the way you just verbalized it. Today, I absolutely appreciate and share the same. I would look at the other person with compassion like you did. I really would today, but years ago, I don't know that I would have. And I often comment that you get it at this young age to see the beauty in almost everything in the way that you talk every week. It seems like that, and especially in people. So I think I haven't met you yet. But actually, I actually just accepted your friendship on Facebook, and I saw you for the first time because we've only talked, and you are as beautiful as you were. But I just want to say this, the way that you speak, I think that it's because you're so comfortable in your own skin. And I think that because of that, you can see that in this other young lady. I mean, am I wrong? Am I right? It's something that I sense.
Oh, comfortable?
Yeah, in your own skin, that you have self-worth.
Yeah.
And that it makes it easier.
In a lot of ways, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with being comfortable in your mind.
Oh yeah, I think I'm more comfortable in my mind than in my body.
I definitely think it's with certain ways in comparing, when you're doing it for yourself, a lot of it is about your mind and your body and your soul and all that other great stuff. But I mean, when it comes specifically relationship wise, I think it definitely helps when there's a middle ground and when there's a compromise, and it's not fighting tooth and nail about this one person, and instead of being I understand where you're coming from, I will respect that you don't like this, but some type of compromise. Because if you're sitting there and you feel so self-conscious and hurt about this person, and your partner, who is technically the reason this baggage is with them, if they can't sit there and meet a middle ground with you on something, then it's bro, you're being a jerk. And now I feel even more crazy. Thank you.
Okay, but you're speaking of a different experience. So
just in general, if you're in a comparing yourself in general is really about yourself. Comparing things when you're in a relationship, I feel, is a little more tricky because you can have all the self-confidence and self-esteem possible, but if that partner isn't sitting there and not in a sense validating, but being understanding about why you're not happy. Yeah, if they're not compromising about why you're so upset, then there's no point, because then you're sitting there looking like a crazy person and they're feeling like they're not doing anything wrong. So if they can't come to an understanding point of view, then it's not really worth being a crazy person and trying to get them to see that this person is not doing nice things by your relationship. But
I feel like it's hard to control your significant other's mind too, because you can't really control that, and especially can't control the outside variable, because sometimes they're just crazy and there's nothing you about it. So I feel like the best really do in a situation like that is just like, I don't know, be there for yourself and like figure out where your mind is, and then approach the
right. But if this person, if you took all of this information to them, everything that you feel, and they look at you and they're like, no, this is ridiculous. You're being a crazy person, or whatever.
Because they shouldn't call you crazy.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, there has to be a slight compromise. Like, even if they can't do anything about it because this person is ridiculously crazy, at least if they do like I understand, babe, where you're coming from, we'll figure out a solution, that's a little better than, why are you making this a big deal? Like, obviously they're not a big problem, so why are you, like, as long as there's some type of I understand, it just makes it a little better. But that's incorporated with your self-esteem, not saying that you have none and you're wanting this person to fix everything for you.
Yeah, and like there's always something that causes something, like you to think this way. Like say if you woke up and someone started screaming at you, and then from that point on you were in such a bad mood the whole day, and so many bad things were happening because you were attracted to the negativity. And so like the other person might not see you all day and they don't know. So it's just like, so you don't know how to communicate that, and it's just like. It's like I said before, communication is so important, especially in situations like that, because you need to know where the other person's communication itself is possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The root of it. It's really
right. You know what? I find more often than not, I do disagree with my husband of 27 years, and I always say that I feel like he's spiritually bankrupt, and it puts a tremendous gap between our relationship. But I find when I make suggestions, or I send him quotes on the telephone, or we're just talking and I suggest that he's not, right, or he doesn't have gratitude, for example, he makes a belligerent statement, and then he mistakes my thought where I find my peace, and I really find it because I go inside myself and I say, well, I know this is true, and I know that it's given me peace, and it's okay that he doesn't agree. And then he tells me, what is that smirk on your face? Like, he thinks it's a sarcastic smirk, but you know what it is? It's my peace that I just found and validated in myself. And it happens a lot, and it's been happening a lot lately.
It could be him comparing himself to you. Like, this wasn't the woman, like, I can't read his mind, but, like, for an example, that could be him comparing himself to you, and that's why he's so resentful or gets defensive when you're just sending him something sweet, because he looks at it as, what is this crap? Are you trying to say that I need to fix something about myself? Why are you smirking? When in reality, it's just he's comparing your inner peace to his spiritual bankruptcy.
Right. And
I mean, that's all coming from just an opinion.
And it's all like a low self-esteem versus, just a higher self-esteem. I really believe that. And I work so hard to work on, my self-esteem by taking examples. And, what we talked about like a few minutes ago, understanding the difference of inspiration and comparison, like there are people, and anyone that's on is welcome to chime in or just listen, whatever, you're comfortable with. But I've learned sometimes if you could just want what someone else has, to tune into that person, tune into them, whether they're better at a sport or whether it's a woman in the yoga room that has a better standing pose. And I would like to have that, I would look at her as an inspiration. There are times in the yoga room that I'll look at another woman's body and be like, wow, I would think for a moment, oh, I wish I had that body. But then I think I'm grateful that I'm in the yoga room at my age. And I really shift my thoughts like this, like honest to goodness. I didn't always do this. But like for the past year especially, I started doing this and it works. It's like freaking amazing, and then I just feel good that I'm in there. I'm less, I don't care where the ponytail flops or what, I get into the poses and that's how I deal with it. There's some suggestions here from a Joshua Becker that are just ways to, change in the moment. He says, you take a walk, even if you walk to the other side of the room when you find yourself comparing yourself to others, just to allow the change, the prompts of your thinking. And
yeah, because oh, I'm sorry,
ahead.
I wasn't sure if you were done.
No, that's fine. I'd love to hear your comment on it.
With everything you said, it's very, very true, because once you stop looking at someone and comparing themselves to, for example, with the yoga pose, instead of comparing them and being like, oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I could do that, if you switch it to, I could ask them how they did that, or maybe they could give me tips, and you embrace it, it actually helps.
Right.
Because the last month, all I've been doing is going through change. I have a new job. I've had a new relationship that's almost 4 months. Like, I had to deal with my own situation with a girl that was a close friend, that wasn't really a close friend of my boyfriend's, but like she was a friend. And it was one of those things where, like, I had to really, really, really remember understanding, and like it took me until after everything was blown over when he was like, no, I understand, but I just need to look for these red flags myself now, because you might have brought it up,
right.
But at the same time, I need to decide this for myself, because, and I even said it, I could just be self-conscious and be doing this because of my own insecurities. So I wanted him to, I was actually that it was my fears of how she was acting to be true. So it's like I've been going through a lot of change, and one of the things I realized is going through this, one of the biggest reasons I started becoming so stressed out and so short-tempered and freaking out a lot, like I had a temper tantrum on my boyfriend last week for something stupid, it really all stemmed down to I forgot to keep my brain rewired the way I did, because once I stopped doing that for a period of time, all of those negative thoughts literally overpower me to the point that I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, I do that.
Are you able to get back to the place? Are you able to get back to the place where you can shift your thoughts?
Yes.
Positivity. Because it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. It's just starting to work for me. And, I've been listening to this. I've been listening to this more amplified for the past 5 years, but it's just coming into play in my life. And, wow, what a difference. And it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
It really, honestly, it's so true. Like, again, progress, not perfection. But, it literally was, stressed out, and then something big happened, and my negative thoughts were literally taking over. Like, we were fighting, and in the middle of the fight, he fell asleep on me. And my brain went, that's it. He's pissed off at you. He's doing exactly what the last one did. He's just going to ignore you and never tell you that he's never going to see you. Like, my brain went insane. And at that moment, I realized, first of all, me doing all of this is not going to keep my boyfriend around. It's going to push him away as much as I'm trying to keep, as much as I'm upset and expressing this. Me doing this is not a good idea. Second of all, I can express the way I want to express, but I can't let my emotions overpower me. And third of all, as soon as I realized, very, very true with myself, not oh, well, I'm mad because of him, or I'm mad because he did this, or he said this, when I was like, I'm mad because I couldn't go on this trip, and because I was comparing myself to my boyfriend that works from home and makes the same amount, if not more than me. That's what I was really mad about. I wasn't mad about the fact that he was there. I wasn't mad about the fact of what he was doing. My self-consciousness came into it because of past things. But for the most part, it took until I was really true with myself on my actions and my motives, without putting blame on someone else, that I was able to finally bounce back and be like, no, this is on me.
See how great that is. How great that is. And you know what, Erica? I just want to say, the more you are comfortable with you, the more you love your job, the more you're comfortable with yourself, the more you won't feel like you need anyone's validation, not your boyfriend's, not your dad's, not mine, not anyone's. It's just going to come along with the more comfort you find in your own skin. Mm-hmm. And, at your age, just to have the insight that you have is powerful. And, I read a New York Times article, and it's funny because it says that upward comparisons and living up to Joneses, actually the study was showing that sometimes comparing yourself to others could be beneficial. And it gave this weird comparison, but it said that there was a study with people that earned over $200,000 a year, that they were associated with lower levels of self-reported happiness, which I thought was weird. But I'm just shooting out some other perspectives with comparing yourself, to others. Just some different ideas.
It makes sense. A short-term comparison,
I say goodbye because I really have to see pictures of this one. But
this is Jamie.
Jackie.
I have to say goodbye too. This was great listening. I'd like to make it a habit, and thank you all. I really got a lot out of tonight.
Thank you. Shine on, James. All right, bye, Jackie.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, friends.
Hope to converse with everybody soon.
Yeah. All right. We're just about winding up anyway, but okay. Good night, all. That's hanging up now. We have a few more minutes.
Good night, Stacy. Talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Bye. So I usually run a little bit over a half hour. Erica, were you saying something, honey? Want to finish? Or were you finished?
I was going to say, in the short term, comparing yourself to, that Major League football player or that billionaire on Wall Street, in short term, comparing yourself to them, that can give you ambition or motivation or the passion to want to be just as good as them. But if you don't remember in the long term, it's really about you. That's when you get disappointed because it's not them.
Right. You know what I want to add, just because our time is limited here, I always, make my little book of resources so that if anyone wants to pursue the subject a little bit more, that we have, tools and tips at our fingertips. So I wanted to recommend a book called Becoming Minimalist by Joshua Becker, who I had mentioned earlier, and it's a guide to stop comparing yourself to others, where I actually pieced some information for this evening. And there's another book written by actually Oprah, and you can get it on Oprah.com, How to Stop Comparing Yourself to Other Women. And this has 15 ideas to help you start a dialogue with yourself and become conscious of comparing, and games to help you. And then there's an article called 8 Healthy Ways to Deal with Jealousy, and it's written by the World of Psychology. You can Google it, 8 Healthy Ways to Deal with Jealousy, World of Psychology, and it will give you research and resources for comparing yourself. And then the Tiny Buddha wrote Stop Comparing Yourself to Others. The Tiny Buddha always has a wealth of positivity that you can Google on a daily basis. Yeah. And then, believe it or not, if you're very spiritual and with a touch of religious aspects, the Bible verses about comparing ourselves to others can be meaningful to you. We're all, we all have different perspectives and values, and comparing yourself to others, quotes, just, daily quotes to remind ourselves how special we are. These quotes, if you Google comparing yourself to other quotes, you'll find a lot of positivity in that. And I do that a lot too, just to remind myself. And like I said, it's a work in progress. And the more I feel confident in my own skin, the better, the less I compare myself, and the less I compare what other people think of me. So, in a relationship, you definitely channeled some key information, but everybody's different, Everybody's different. But I think that a man does like an independent woman, no matter what, one that doesn't depend on anybody else for their happiness. And,
but I can also see a man liking a woman that does do everything for them. It really is all about opinion. If a woman if a woman's an independent woman, or a not independent woman might think a man likes a woman more independent because that's not who they are. And they don't like themselves and aren't someone that is a very independent person and is like sort of house mom material. They're going to there's always someone out there for someone.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And
I feel like there's just like how there's. I'm so sorry. Go on.
No, I think what you're saying is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Go ahead, Erica, you say it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, with everybody, there are some guys that like there's some guys that like women that are bigger than them, skinnier than them, taller than them, shorter than them, different races or ethnicities. Same thing with women. Like, it really all just comes down to being really honest with yourself, because even in that, people compare themselves with their relationships. If there's two people that are in an interracial couple, they might not end up in that interracial couple because they're so scared of society norms, which people to this day still give dirty looks for dating someone outside their range. So if you're not really treating yourself.
My son wrote an essay on this the other night. Yeah.
Did you really?
Right. No,
I always
not
have
me.
your
My
son's
son.
essays in my brain. Have you noticed this?
My son was writing an essay based on a poem about ethnicity that had the social norms and how unfair it was to this young couple that was so in love, but they couldn't be together based on social norms. So I'm saying, oh my God, because this was just Monday night that I was, helping him with it.
That's so funny because I think last week or the week before that, the same thing happened, where he wrote something based off of exactly what came out of one of our mouths.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, hi, Brooke.
Hi.
What do you have to say to all this before we close up?
It's really hitting home with me because I am comparing myself to the person that my husband cheated on me with, and my ex-husband, and I do it every day. Sometimes it's sad, but anyway.
Well, as long as you remember that either this is a growing experience for you guys' relationship in figuring out communication, or if it means that it's a growing experience for just yourself.
No, it's over. It's just that I still look back,
I didn't want to be a jerk, so. But
I'm
glad that you said there's a growing experience there for you, though. At least you're able. It's hard, but even, you know what, we're all allowed to compare ourselves once in a while. It's as long as we don't get into that habit of doing it and know you're special. Yeah. And I don't know who you are, but I've talked to you a couple times on here, and you're a pretty awesome lady. So
thank you.
Whatever his reasons were, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the radio, but he can suck it.
You're allowed. You're allowed. You know what? If you want to compare yourself to you. We ought to strive to be the best possible versions that we could be, not just for us, but so that we could be the best possible contribution to other people and benefit others. And honest to goodness, when I stop thinking so much about me and just start thinking about others, I get out of my own head, and I find great solace when I am thinking, like you just said, Brooke, of thinking, you know what? I'm where I'm supposed to be for some reason.
Yep.
And all of that transpired. There's a lesson for me to be learned in that so that I could get to the next place that I'm supposed to be. And with these thoughts, I really not only say them, but I believe them. And then, I'm okay, and things do, move forward. Things become exciting. And, these are the things that have worked for me. But I really, really believe that. We all are where we're supposed to be. And I really think that there's some more lessons that I need to learn before I can get to the next place, which I'm so excited to get to. But I know there's some lessons before I get there that I have to learn first. So, and this helps me all the time.
That's a good message.
It's true. And hearing and sharing with others, just helps us grow. Instead of comparing, I find such inspiration in just sharing with Brooke, you lately on almost a daily basis, and, Erica, hearing your points of view from your age, and, you have such confidence and, believe in you because you definitely sparkle, more so than the sparkles that you wear on your eyes all the time. And you know what? Have a great week. I'll look forward to being on next Thursday. I missed last week, but I listened to the podcast. It was great, Erica. And anybody have anything else to say?
I have one more thing. Oh, wait,
okay.
Brooke, you want to go first?
What?
I thought you said too. Did you want to say something first?
No,
no.
That was me again. But say what you want to say. We've been ending as you're suggesting with just one thing we're grateful for. But okay. But you want to say what you were going to say first?
Is as beautiful and as wonderful as talking about comparing ourselves to others is, we all do have to remember that we're human and we should not beat ourselves up when it does happen, though. I just feel like that is definitely something that we need to put out there with talking about this, because as much as I know the lessons and I know the rules to follow about this, I'm human. I make mistakes and I sometimes still do it. So that's just something I feel like needs to be put out there, especially if somebody does have a problem with comparing themselves, because then they could sit there going, oh, well, they make it seem so easy. Why can't I do it? So I just want to really stress it that whoever's listening, we're human. We all do it. And that's all.
And we appreciate that. And that's why we just share things that work for us, and they don't work for us all the time. You know, there's going to be a day that I make it sound so easy that I could shift my thoughts. And there's some days that I can't get out of my own way. So absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And tell us one thing that you're grateful for today.
Today, I am grateful. Yeah, as silly as it is, I am actually very grateful that I can get into my car and I can drive somewhere at 4 o'clock in the morning and still be able to feed myself.
Awesome. Brooke?
That's funny. I'm grateful that it was busy at work today.
Very nice.
It's good to be. Sometimes that keeps us out of our own heads too. And I'm grateful to have this. I'm grateful to have this platform to share on a weekly basis. I really, really am. So shine on, girls. I'll talk to you soon, and have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You too. Bye.